Good morning, my friends, and welcome back to our channel, where we talk about everything that matters to seniors, retirees, and families who care about the future. Today's topic is one that has left millions of people shocked, confused, and even a little scared. The government has just revealed major changes to the retirement age and age pension rules, and many are asking, is retirement at 64 really over? What does this mean for people who have spent decades working, saving, and planning for that peaceful moment when they can finally rest? Before we go any further, take one quick second to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss an important update about your pension, benefits, or retirement rights. Trust me, what's coming next in today's video could affect not only when you retire, but how much you receive every single month. For years, the idea of retiring at 64 was something many people counted on. It was seen as the reasonable balance. You had worked long enough, contributed to society, raised your family, and deserved a break. But now, the government's new statement has completely changed that picture. They've made it clear that the retirement landscape is shifting, and it's not just about the number 64 anymore. Officials say the system needs to be modernized to reflect today's longer life expectancy, labor shortages, and financial sustainability. But behind those polite words hides a hard truth. The pension rules are changing, and people will have to adapt, whether they like it or not. Imagine this. You've been working since your early 20s. You've paid taxes, contributed to your retirement fund, and planned your future carefully. You've told yourself, just a few more years, and I'll finally relax. But suddenly, a new rule says you'll have to wait longer, maybe 65, 66, or even 67, before you can claim your full pension. That's not just a policy update. That's a deeply personal blow. This is why today's discussion is so important. We are not just talking about numbers. We are talking about lives, dreams, and years of sacrifice. So, let's break down exactly what the government has said, what it means for you, and what options you still have. According to the official update, the government intends to gradually increase the age at which citizens can access the full age pension. In some cases, this may mean that people born after a certain year will not be able to retire at 64 anymore. Instead, their new retirement age could move closer to 65 or 67, depending on the phase-in schedule. This change is being justified on two main grounds. People are living longer, on average 10 to 15 years longer than they did 40 years ago. The pension system is struggling to remain financially stable as more people draw benefits for longer periods. But many seniors argue that this reasoning doesn't reflect reality. Living longer doesn't always mean living healthier. People in their 60s often deal with health problems, joint pain, or chronic fatigue. Extending their working years might be possible on paper, but not in real life. When the Minister for Social Services addressed the issue, she said the goal was to secure the sustainability of the pension system for future generations. While that sounds responsible, the timing of the announcement has angered many. For those who are planning to retire soon, especially those turning 64 next year, this news feels like the rug has been pulled out from under them. Some viewers have already written to our channel saying things like, "I've been waiting for my 64th birthday to finally stop working. Now I don't even know what I'm supposed to do." And that's exactly why we are here, to help you understand what's changing and how you can still protect your financial future. Let's be honest, governments don't make these decisions lightly, but they also rarely admit the full picture. The reality is that the pension system has been under growing pressure. With people living longer, birth rates falling, and fewer workers contributing to the pension fund, the numbers simply don't balance the way they used to. Every year, more retirees claim benefits, while fewer young people enter the workforce. This creates a gap, a financial hole that grows wider each year. To keep the system from collapsing, governments around the world are adjusting retirement ages and eligibility rules. And now, your government has joined that trend. How this affects different groups if you're already retired or receiving your pension, you don't have to worry. Your payments will continue as usual. But if you're 60 to 63 and were planning to retire soon, the changes could mean a significant delay in when you can access your full benefits. Those born before a specific cutoff date may still be eligible to retire under the old system, but everyone after that will face a new timeline. This means you'll have to work longer or find other income sources to fill the gap before you reach the new qualifying age. The public response has been a mix of frustration, confusion, and disbelief. In town hall meetings, social media comments, and letters to editors, people have been asking one main question: why now? Many argue that after surviving years of inflation, rising living costs, and uncertainty. Raising the retirement age feels like a punishment rather than a solution. Unions and senior advocacy groups are already demanding that the government reconsider, or at least provide transitional support for those nearing retirement. Petitions have started circulating, and protests are even being discussed in some cities. The mood among seniors is clear. They feel unheard. Officials have tried to reassure the public by saying no one will be left behind. They've mentioned that there will be transitional arrangements and gradual implementation. But as we all know, the fine print matters. Sometimes gradual still means inevitable. So, the key is understanding what stage you're at and how to prepare before the new rules fully take effect. Later in this video, we'll talk about steps you can take to safeguard your finances and make sure you don't lose the benefits you've worked your whole life for. It's important to note that this isn't just happening in one country. Across Europe, Australia, the US, and parts of Asia, governments have been slowly raising retirement ages. In France, for example, the move from 62 to 64 triggered massive protests. In the UK, the retirement age is already 66, and plans for 67 are on the table. So this trend is global, driven by demographics and economics. But that doesn't make it any easier for the individuals caught in the middle of it. If you've spent 40+ years working, you deserve clarity, respect, and fair treatment. That's what today's discussion is really about. Beyond money and rules, there's the human side. Many older workers feel tired. They've given their best years to their jobs, often sacrificing family time and personal health. For them, the thought of working an extra year or two isn't just inconvenient, it's heartbreaking. Some feel that the system is changing the finish line just as they're about to reach it. Imagine training for a marathon, and then someone suddenly says, "Sorry, you still have 10 kilometers left." That's what this new policy feels like for many seniors. Even though the rules are changing, you still have power. You can plan ahead, learn about transitional support, and explore early retirement options or part-time work flexibility. It's not about giving up, it's about adapting smartly. In the next section, we'll break down the official implementation timeline, what it means for your specific birth year, and how to calculate when you can actually retire under the new framework. Stay with me, because understanding these details could help you avoid costly mistakes. Let's continue, my friends, because this next section is where things become truly important for anyone approaching retirement age. By now, you've probably realized that this isn't just a rumor, it's real. The government is changing the rules around when people can retire and start receiving their full pension. But what exactly does that mean for you? And how do you figure out your new retirement date? Grab a notebook or just listen carefully, because I'll explain everything step by step in plain and simple language. The government has decided that the retirement age, which was traditionally set at 64, will no longer remain fixed. Instead, it will increase gradually over the next few years. Officials call this a phased adjustment. What that means is that the change won't happen all at once, but in stages, affecting different age groups depending on their year of birth. For example, people born in the early 1960s may still qualify under the current rule of 64, but those born later, in 1965 or 1966, might see the qualifying age move up to 65 or even 66. And for younger workers, the age could rise to 67. The government says this gradual shift will give people time to prepare. But for many who are already counting the months to their retirement, it feels like too little, too late. Now, let's talk about the reasoning. According to the government's official statement, the main reason for this change is sustainability. The pension system, they claim, can no longer support the same payout structure as life expectancy continues to increase. Decades ago, most people retired around 60 and lived perhaps 15 or 20 years afterward. Today, many live well into their 80s and even 90s, drawing pensions for 25 or 30 years. The government's economists argue that if they don't make changes now, the pension fund could face long-term instability. That might sound logical from a financial point of view, but from a human point of view, it's not that simple. Because extending working life doesn't automatically mean people can actually work longer. Let's pause and be real for a moment. Working into your mid or late 60s sounds fine to a government planner sitting at a desk. But what about a nurse who's been on her feet for 40 years? What about a construction worker whose back is already giving out? Or a teacher who's been under stress for decades? Health is a major issue that policymakers often overlook. Studies show that many people start experiencing chronic pain, fatigue, or heart problems by their early 60s. Telling them to just keep working isn't fair, it's unrealistic. This is one of the main criticisms of the new rule. Advocates for seniors are now calling for a flexible system, one that recognizes not everyone's body or career is the same. Some are asking for earlier retirement options for those in physically demanding jobs, while others want special allowances for people with health conditions. Another reason for the reform is economic pressure. With fewer young workers paying into the system, the government is trying to balance the books. The aging population means more retirees and fewer contributors. So, they're trying to stretch the same money further. But here's the catch. Raising the retirement age also keeps older workers in the job market longer. That means fewer openings for younger people, who are already struggling to find stable work. It's a cycle that affects everyone. Economists have warned that unless wages increase and contributions improve, simply pushing the retirement age won't solve the deeper financial problem. It just delays it. That's why many experts believe this new policy is more of a temporary fix than a real solution. The ones who feel the pinch first are those turning 63 or 64 this year or next. Many of them had already made plans, maybe even informed their employers or calculated their pension benefits. Now, they're suddenly told they'll have to wait longer. It's not just about waiting. For many people, working extra years can mean pushing through pain, delaying medical treatments, or postponing long-awaited dreams, like traveling, spending time with grandchildren, or simply resting after decades of hard labor. If you're in this age group, you should know this. The government has said that transitional protection will be available. That means if you're very close to the old retirement age, there might be a grace period or special exception allowing you to retire earlier than the new limit. But this depends heavily on your date of birth and contribution record, so it's vital to check your personal details through the official pension portal or your Social Security office. In every major reform, there are details that don't make the headlines, and this is no exception. One thing the government hasn't emphasized is how this will affect pension amounts. If you choose to retire early, say, at 64, even if the new rule says 65 or 66, your monthly pension may be reduced. Some systems apply a discount for every month or year you retire early. It could be a 3% to 6% cut per year. That may not sound like much, but over a lifetime, it adds up to thousands in lost income. So before making any decisions, make sure you understand the long-term impact on your pension payments. Sometimes waiting one extra year could mean a significant difference in what you receive every month. So what can you do right now, especially if you're between 58 and 64 and unsure how these changes might affect you? The first step is to get informed. Check your retirement projection under both the current and new systems. Many pension agencies provide online calculators that can show your estimated age of eligibility and monthly benefit. The second step is to plan ahead financially. If you were counting on retiring at 64, start adjusting your budget now in case you have to work longer. That could mean saving a little more, paying down debts faster, or considering part-time work after official retirement. And the third step, stay vocal. Join advocacy groups, attend community meetings, or write to your local representative. Policies can still be shaped by public pressure. The louder seniors speak, the harder it is for the government to ignore their reality. Employers are also part of this puzzle. If people are expected to work longer, workplaces must become more age-friendly. That means flexible hours, ergonomic environments, and roles that recognize experience over physical strength. Unfortunately, many older workers face age discrimination when trying to keep or find jobs past 60. This is why the policy change could backfire if not paired with stronger employment protections for seniors. Some countries that implemented similar reforms also launched senior workforce programs, offering training, incentives, and health support for workers over 60. Whether your government will do the same remains to be seen. One thing that often goes unnoticed in discussions about retirement is the emotional side, the feeling of purpose and belonging. Many seniors look forward to retirement not just for rest, but to spend time with loved ones, volunteer, or simply enjoy the fruits of their labor. When the goalpost is moved, it can lead to frustration and even depression. Families need to play a role here too, offering emotional support and understanding. After all, retirement isn't just a number, it's a life milestone. There is one small silver lining. Technology and remote work have made it easier for older adults to remain employed without the same physical strain. Many companies are now open to hybrid or fully remote arrangements, which allows seniors to work from home, manage their health better, and still earn income. If your health allows and your profession supports it, Exploring remote work options could help bridge the gap between your desired retirement and the new legal age. In some cases, retirees even transition into part-time consulting, mentoring, or freelance roles. This flexibility could become one of the biggest tools for adapting to the new age pension environment. As we continue through this video, we'll dive deeper into when these rules will come into effect, what specific dates and deadlines to watch for, and how pension payments will be recalculated under the updated system. Because the truth is, this isn't just about working a few more years, it's about reshaping the entire idea of retirement. Governments say it's about sustainability, but for everyday people like you, it's about survival, dignity, and fairness.